I've got a question. How many times have you heard any of these?
I alone am the honored one. Hollow. Purple.
Yeah, I wouldn't know either, but do you want to know what all of these phrases have in common? They are all related to one iconic anime character, Satoru Gojo. And yeah, you heard me right, I called Satoru Gojo an iconic anime character. And I have no shame about it, okay? I'll say it with my chest. Satoru Gojo is iconic, okay? And I know what you're gonna say. He's not as iconic as Goku, Naruto, or like Ash Ketchum. And I agree. But at least what we all can agree on is that Gojo is more iconic than Asta will ever be. And that's not an insult, okay? That's just a fact of life. But why is Gojo iconic? Well, first, children, we have to establish what makes a character iconic. And if we go to the dictionary, it says widely recognized and well established. And if we go by the dictionary terms, then technically Gojo is iconic. Gojo is well recognized and well established. Just look at his resume. Hollywood cameos. He's in Fortnite. Usher wrote a song for him and Megan Thee Stallion cosplayed. Fuck. Oh, damn. And if this isn't enough to prove that Gojo's iconic, I promise you I can go band for band on reasons as to why he is. Throughout heaven and earth, he alone is the honored one. Guys wanna be him, the women wanna fuck him. And that is because Gojo is quite simply one of the most charismatic and interesting characters that we've seen for a while. When Satoru Gojo was born, the balance of the world was altered. From birth, this man Gojo was overpowered. When Gojo was born, curses all around the world got stronger. They adjusted for inflation with Gojo's birth. The only person who could challenge Gojo at all in the story was a literal legend of legends from the ancient past. You take all of that information and then you look at Gojo's character and it all makes sense as to why he walks around as cocky as he is, as to why he doesn't take anything as serious. Gojo is iconic because we all want to be like Gojo. He has this overwhelming sense of self that draws people towards him. We all love Gojo because Gojo is him. Anytime, any place, it doesn't matter. Gojo's never gonna switch up because he is a real nigga. The reason why we all love the phrase, nah, I'd win, is because Gojo believes that he would win. He's not saying that to look cool. He knows he would whoop Sukuna's candy ass, and that's because Gojo is the strongest. And yet, despite having all of the power in the world, he still can't fix that broken part about him. In fact, what's making him so powerful, him being the strongest, is in fact the one thing that's causing him to be so broken, to feel so lonely. Gojo is the strongest, but he is alone. No amount of RCT can repair that emotional damage. But yet, despite all this, despite everything, he's still a loving and caring father. He adopted Megami from his biggest ops. He saved Yuji and Yuta from slaughter. He's fostering a new generation of strong sorcerers, so that way the world can be protected, the weak can be cared for, and the strongest people won't have to be alone. Gojo is looking after these kids because he cares about them, because he wants them to enjoy the best years of their life because his were taken away from him. Or does Gojo do this so that people could understand him? Because like he said, you can make a flower bloom, but you can't make it understand you. Or was it Sukuna? I'm not sure. Editor, could you please fix it for me? I love you, please. But despite being viewed as nothing more as the strongest, Gojo has no problem reminding you why they call him that.
It's impossible. Do you think you're the strongest because you're Satoru Gojo?
But why can't Gojo be both? And ladies and gentlemen, that is why Gojo is beloved by all who read Jujutsu Kaisen. And in my personal opinion, he is the perfect reflection of healthy masculinity, but I can make that another video if y'all want. Like, let's be real, if Gojo was real, he will be the world's sexiest man. Women would love him. Yo, imagine a war between Gojo fans and Taylor Swift fans. That would go crazy because like nobody would be able to touch Gojo in popularity or literally, because this brings us to the next reason why people love him and why he's iconic is because his powers are OP and simple. Like if I had to boil it down, it's literally just barrier, push, pull, erase, stun. That's it. That's his powers. Limitless is an inherited technique passed down in the Gojo clan. This technique brings the concept of infinity into reality, allowing the user to manipulate and distort space at will. Alright, so let's start off with Gojo's biggest crutch ability, the nightmare of power scalars, infinity. In simple terms, it's an all-protective shield that protects Gojo from any harm. If it wants to hit Gojo, it stops it, and it does that by slowing it down until it never ever reaches Gojo. Look, I promise you, this ability is not as hard as people make it seem it is. Gege keeps trying to put all these math equations into it. No, look, it slows anything trying to harm Gojo down. It's quite simply a shield that gives the middle finger to all attacks. The only people who care about how it works and what attacks can bypass it are power scalars. And the only reason why they care so much about it is to see if their favorite character can beat Gojo. Like, bruh. We also have to mention the 6 eyes, curse energy on atomic level. It basically just allows him to scan his opponents and to have infinite curse energy. Oh yeah, and you can't really use infinity unless you have the 6 eyes. Like, okay. Then we take a look at Blue, which is probably his most versatile ability, which allows Gojo to attract people. It allows him to attract anything, anywhere. It allows him to move people, objects. He's basically pulling them everywhere. He can pull himself to teleport to different places. He pulls his opponent into his fist to double his punches. Like it's really simple, but very versatile and really cool. He can use it to like move himself faster, increase his speed. It's his most versatile and most useful ability. Then we have Reversal Red, which is the opposite of Blue. As you know, red is the opposite of blue. Oh my god, shocker! It pushes anything and it's really just a blast. And since it's the reverse of Blue, it also uses double the curse energy since it's positive and blue is negative energy. Then what happens when you mix blue and red? You get Hollow Purple, which just erases everything. Since blue and red push pull, it just erases everything. It's imaginary mass. And I also love how Hollow Purple in the manga is never actually shown. Like, it's called imaginary, right? Like, it doesn't actually exist. Like, we look at the Hollow Purple that Gojo launched at Toji. There's no attack. The Hollow Purple is the dialogue box. Then we look at the Hollow Purple he did against Hanami. Again, there's no attack. It's just the damage that Hollow Purple did on the forest. Then we go to the manga where he's fighting Sukuna. Again, there's no Hollow Purple there. Also, this is a bit of a fan theory, but the Hollow Purple incantation between front and back, push, pull, what's between push and pull? Nothing! What's between front and back? Nothing! Then we get to his domain expansion.
Domain expansion. Infinite void.
Possibly Gojo's strongest ability. Anybody that gets hit with it has infinite information flooded into their head and they are stunned. 0.2 seconds exposed to this leaves you stunned for 6 months. And that's it. That's all of Gojo's powers. Push, pull, block, stun, erase. That's it. And it's so simple, and yet people love his powers. It's like Superman, Batman, Captain America. All of these heroes who have these simple powers are always some of the most popular characters in fiction.